North Series Championship. Get set for part 2 of the New Hampshire Twin 100. As the Busch North Series, Mike Choi with Buddy Bates. Dave Dion, the 96 champion, and Tom Carey, who won here in August. Then Kelly Moore, who has 4 wins here. Mike Olson, 5 top 5s this year. Brian Wall with 2 victories, and Dennis Demers, who won in July at Stafford, Connecticut. Jeff Taylor with a 2nd at Stafford. Jamie Obey, former champion of the division. Eric Bodine, that's Brett's cousin, and Kip Stockwell. Then Denny Doyle, Dale Quarterly, who finished 2nd here in August, Bobby Dragon, champion of the old NASCAR North Tour, and Billy Penfold. Jerry Marquis, 97 track champion, Mike Bruno, J.D. Gibbs, that's Coach Joe Gibbs' son, and Barney McRae from Maine. Matt Kovaluk from Connecticut, Martin Truex from New Hampshire, Brett Rubinek, road race specialist, and Dale Shaw. Super modified racer Paul Richardson, then Greg Schaefer, Ben Rowe, and Jeff Berry. Kenny White Jr., John Preston, Herb Drug, and Dan Kuhnman. Tom Bowles, John Turbone, Ted Christopher has 3 wins here in a Busch car, and 92 track champ Ricky Craven, who has 2 victories here. Joe Riolo, road racer Lou Rettenmeyer, John Swanson, and Joey McCarthy from New Jersey. Then it's John Barber, Adam Friend, Bob Brunel, and Scott Frazier. Looking for the first of 100 laps. And we are under green. Drag race down the front straightaway, and Gordon lifts early. Tracy Gordon.
Marco, get to the bottom lane. With these cars, the Busch North cars, the bottom lane is going to be very critical. You've got to be able to keep your car working on that inside lane.
And as Buddy said at the top of the day, they're going to have to run a few laps here because they're running on the rubber that was put down on the track by the modified, and that really makes these cars squirrely.
Yeah, and this is a spec tire. It's an American racing tire. You can see right there, Gordon was sitting awfully loose getting off the corner. But they are so very hard until you get them really 3 or 4 laps on them. They actually slide through the corners. You can see the back of the car tilting out as Leighton starts off the corner. Look at the back angle of that car. It actually slides off the corner.
Asked some of the drivers, how long will these tires last? And one of them told me, half the season.
Half the season. They said if it was nighttime, you could see the sparks off of them. That's how hard they are.
All right, single file through about the first 11 cars.
There you saw the 2 leaders get squirrely off of turn 4. It's going to take a few laps to get this racetrack and run back in to where these guys can start getting hold of the racetrack and can start seeing some good side-by-side racing. Tracy Gordon looking over the leader right now on the inside, and just behind him, Kelly Moore has moved all the way up to 3rd.
For the lead. Here comes Gordon on the inside. He's there.
Still there now. Clear.
Who's calling this race?
He's looking.
Yes, he is.
On the corner.
Yes, he is. Gordon a little bit loose on the bottom side. He picks up the throttle. You can see the back. But that's nothing. These are not radial tires. They're bias-flat tires, and they'll slide them. In days of old Western Cup cars, would get loose like this.
Whoa, big slide, and Kelly Moore gets underneath.
Get away. You got 2 car lengths on Kelly.
Kelly Moore gets 2nd spot in the 47, and here comes Tom Carey in 42.
Tom Carey and Dave Dion right there on the inside. Tracy Gordon hung up on the outside. The preferred line right now is right around the bottom of the racetrack.
Mike Olson, the 61, right behind Dion, as they battle the 6-14 of Gordon.
The lap before, he saw Tracy Gordon get underneath our leader and try to pinch that car on the bottom. He could not get any traction down there. Slid the car up into Leighton and opened the bottom lane up for the 47 car to jump in there.
Riding with Mike Olson. Dave Dion just ahead. The Continental Paving. Ford.
Dion picks up the throttle right there. Car very
turn
good.
3. 1 car's around, buddy, and up into the wall. And the melee ensues behind.
Clear.
Oh, boy.
Yellow is out, Brad.
That started as a very simple 1-car spin. The 40 of Matt Kovaluk. That's the Mohegan Sun Casino car.
There's Ricky Craven stuck down in the infield. From all that rain, he's stuck in the mud. Bob Brunel, the 17, was also involved there.
And Kenny White, that number 9, is sponsored by Ted Williams. Gets around.
Oh, they even hit getting away from each other. That's Joey McCarthy.
the 41.
And there's Kenny White Jr., the hitter.net car. Steady ball game.
You can see Craven stuck in the mud. The mud piled up in front of those rear tires. The record's there. Oh, there.
He said, don't put that record up again.
Well, the ground is very, very soft from the activity from Hurricane Floyd, which looked like it would blow out of here yesterday morning and then just hung around all day. There is Bob Brunel, the camouflage number 17. And the 41 of McCarthy goes by. So let's show you what happened. It started out with just Matt Kobaluk. There he goes. He had a little help.
Look at Ted Christopher in 13 go right through the middle there.
Yeah, but there's lots more. Herb Drug spins, and there's 3 or 4 cars, and now a whole bunch spins.
Looks like Ben Rowe and the 40 car got together. They went down into turn 3.
And we're back under green.
Clear.
That's Ricky Craven running second in line to our leader, Bradley. He's going to try his darndest to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's 2 laps down unofficially as a result of being stuck in the mud there up inside of turn 3 and 4.
Ricky Craven bobbles just a little bit as he comes off turn 4 there.
You saw him trying to get underneath Leighton. He run up on the apron just a little bit. Coming off the turn 4, that apron has a pretty steep taper, and it tends to throw the car back out into the racing surface.
Right now, he's having a little handling problem. As you see, our second place, Kelly Moore, now gets by.
Kelly's now 3 to 4 car length. Kelly.
Hey, Tracy Gordon just bounced off the wall midway down the back straightaway, and he's going to give up the position to Mike Olson.
Get behind the 61.
Oh, yeah, just put in the wall.
Oh, my.
Just keep going. You're all right. Keep going.
Oh, I don't know. That's a little bit of concrete dust there on those wheels. He hit pretty hard, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Here comes Brian Wall to the inside, the Vernon Boiler 77, and Dennis Demers from Shelburne, Vermont.
67's looking at Dio. He's on Dio.
From Jamie Obie. Fred, you ever get up there, you're running along, and you just want to hit the key and go, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Kelly Moore.
Still there, now you're clear. Clear. He's looking again.
Little
He's looking
contact get down into turn 3.
with him.
Now, we keep talking about radial tires. If you were to get a car that crossed up with
Brett,
radial
clear.
tires, you have Brett. Right there, he drove it back. Kelly Moore just turned it right, got back in the throttle, and powered through that problem there.
Yeah, there are
Looking on
certainly
the corner
times,
again. Clear.
certainly times when you want to tell that spotter, I know he's inside of me, I know he's there, but, they're trying to do you a great job and a good service. It's that time that they don't speak up when someone here is causing trouble.
I used to tell when the driver was driving for me, if he was really getting tired, he didn't want to talk anymore.
All right, let's go to the leader's pit for an update.
Mike, the biggest problem for Brad Layton right now is just getting enough laps on the racetrack under green conditions to get enough heat in those tires to get him to really start gripping this racetrack. He says the car feels pretty good. The more laps they get, the better that car is. But on the radio, the crew doing everything they can to give him enough warning about where everybody is so he can keep that car good and clean and look for that top 9 finish in the championship today.
Boy, Bobby Dragon just caught a piece of the wall coming out of turn 2. He swept out too high and got into it just a little bit and lost his spot.
Mike, I really believe if Kelly Moore gets up there and starts fighting with Layton, I think Layton will let him go because he is really trying to finish 9th or better. Oh, as they get sideways there, Kelly Moore underneath him as they turn to come off turn 2.
Up to the wheels. Up to the wheels. There he is. What you see is what you got. Clear behind him.
Well, there wasn't my argument. He's fighting him on the outside, side by side as he goes through the corner. Now he drops back.
Clear if you want it.
Kelly Moore just came up and rang the doorbell.
Sorry,
I'm here, and went on to the lead.
Look at this. 3 wide down the front straightaway. 73 Bobby Dragon, you said just a while ago he had gotten into the wall. I didn't see a lot of damage to the car, so little contact there as they go down in the corner. Dragon looks okay though, Mike.
Billy Penfold leading that group, proud graduate of the Buck Baker Racing School, now at Rockingham. And here's Ted Christopher in 13, moving up to the inside of Martin Truex.
Christopher looks very, very quick. He just comes up on these cars. He does not spend a lot of time racing with them. Just pulls to the inside and goes right on by. He looks like he's run into a match here just for a second.
Instead, he's up to 18th from his 35th starting position, so he's certainly on the move in only 17 laps.
MCI timing and scoring, presented by MCI WorldCom, the upper left of the screen. Penfold, I mentioned a minute ago, he had a neat race at Beach Ridge, ran the whole race without a stop and finished second. Everybody else had to work their way back up through. Rather, he was running second in the closing laps, but still ended up with his best Busch North finish ever. Look at this. Slide, bounce, slide some more.
Yeah, Jeff Berry in the 22 there thought about making it 3 wide down the corner, backed out very smart this early in the race, not to make a real problem there.
John Preston in the 12 got a couple of wheel marks for his trouble there as he battled Truex side by side. And here comes Christopher inside the number 30 of Denny Doyle, carrying our camera.
See a little damage there on the right rear corner of Christopher as he went by. He's made contact on the way up through there. It's normal.
He's all the way up to 16th now. He's certainly got a good race car as he's coming off turn 4.
I have a feeling we're going to see him in the Busch Series next year, or the Truck Series. He is definitely destined to move up. There are a number of teams looking at him for next season.
Well, they should, because he has the personality and certainly the drive to make it. I would love to see him come down, and I think he has a great future in racing myself.
You know, you see a lot of this bumping going on here. This is kind of casual contact. You know, it's only 20 laps into the race. You know, and with starting by points, you have some faster cars starting towards the back. Some of the guys, because of the point standing, one is quick, started up towards the front. That's why you're seeing all this racing going on. And I would call this casual contact. This is just a little friendly racing going on now. Now, if we're getting down towards the end of the race, then you start using that chrome horn a little bit more often.
Brett, when we're out there racing, it's contact. When you're up here, it's casual.
Here's Bobby Dragon to the inside of Bill Penfold. This is for 14th position. Here's Denny Doyle and Martin Truex the 6th. We're watching from Doyle. Yow! Boy, does Ted Christopher, does he like to run that thing loose or what?
That does not worry the least. If it gets crossed up, as you see him, it looks like a worm on hot pavement coming out of the corner, but he is definitely on the go.
Well, that's the way you got to run these cars. They don't have all that horsepower. Quite heavy for the horsepower they have, and they've got to run them straight up off the corner. You cannot bog them down with a car that's understeering off the corner.
Watching from Denny Doyle on back. Yellow.
Hello.
That's Jeff Berry, 22, and the 6th of Martin Truex.
Yeah, they're going to pass him on each side. It looks like thought better of it there. Truex backed out of the throttle. Did not make it 3 wide.
This group caught up to Jerry Martin, and he's got a
tire.
He's got a flat left rear tire. That's why he was slowing down and holding this group up.
Marquis, the Winston Racing Series Northeast Regional Champion this year, has been running a limited schedule for Mike O'Connor, and caution for debris from that tire is going to come out.
Yeah, you can see the damage that's already done to the left rear there. It's knocking the under panels out there, and it really puts a lot of debris on the racetrack. It's a good call by the officials here in the protocol.
Now, Marquis, he's going to want to try to keep going here, let the field get caught up behind the pace car, then come down pit road and get those tires changed.
Jerry Marquis had a Busch South deal lined up next season. The deal was signed, and it was all ready to go. But we learned this week that that whole situation is completely up in the air, and that the team may not be formed. An accident earlier this week for the team owner.
You're asking why he's still out there. He's trying not to go a lap down by pulling in too early. He's trying to catch back up and pull in the pits because he has a lot of damage on the left rear. One thing nice, though, he's got rid of all the things that can flap. There's no more tire left, so he's not going to hurt anything by going on around.
Well, let's have a look at what happened to Jerry Marquis out of Broadbrook, Connecticut.
Now, an extra half hour since he only had 1 hour before qualifying today.
Brett Ryan sitting here giving that a big thumbs up. Very limited practice this morning after everything was rained out yesterday. So get a chance to get dialed in for tomorrow. Green flag. We're back under green as we come around for 30 laps. Kelly Moore, your leader, 47. Brad Layton in second. Tom Carey in third, number 42.
You know, I'm beginning. Look at Kelly Moore get sideways as they come off turn 2. Looking to the inside, Brad Layton in the 55 car.
Outside. Up on the border.
Does that meet your definition of loose?
That was loose, yes. That's definition enough, yes.
Still there.
That car up there giving them a fit is Ricky Craven on the outside there. He's trying to get back on the lead lap if he possibly can. Or is he 2 laps down? 1 or 2?
He's 2 laps down right now. But, you know, there's a lot of racing left, and he knows that if he could just get ahead of the leader, but he doesn't have enough car to hang on that outside lane.
There's Tom Carey, AAA Aircraft Supply 42 on the right side of your screen. Moving in here. Carey started this race in fourth in the points. Had a chance to win the championship last year. Got away from him in the closing races. And he, too, has a shot at a Busch Series car perhaps for next season. Orange, Massachusetts driver right there. 3 wide. Brian Wall takes it down on the inside.
You just hope when they make these runs on the inside that the outside car realizes there's other cars coming in. The 86 there, he just dove right down. Dennis DeMoore just flew down on the bottom side, almost wrecked the whole 3 cars there that were in front of him.
Wall in 77, former SCCA national champion road racer, and the only driver to win this year on this series driving a Ford. He's won twice.
They've had an awfully strong race team all season. They really have made that Ford work well for them on these particularly small racetracks here in the Northeast.
Sandy Opie there in the 67. First time I remember coming to this racetrack, he led 90% of the race in the Busch North up here.
Well, that would mean Dave Dion hasn't won this year. That meant it's a rare season. Dion's the big Ford spear carrier in this series, and when you get a year that Dion can't win, that's a tough year.
It could be his day. He's looking awfully good there in 4th position.
Rambling back there, you could see some dust coming off where a car got a little wide, then got into the outside wall just for a second.
Scott Frazier, and he catches Jeff Berry, and Berry's going to go around.
Carson's out.
And everybody this time is going to get by without incident.
Anybody by it.
Keep going, keep going.
Cars spun up in the middle of 3 and 4. He's going to be gone when you get there. Just look for the debris.
Mike, you hear people talking about a wreck starting in turn 2. Well, that wreck started way, way back in turn 2 and finally got it done down into 3.
And there is the car that triggered it, the 08 of Scott Frazier.
See the concrete dust pouring out of the right rear wheel there.
It's Scotia Speed World and Caterpillar Canada over there.
Oh, he didn't just barely get in it. That has really smacked that car. The fenders were about 3 inches pushed in there. As they go on both sides, he starts down in the corner.
And there comes around the outside Berry.
See, Jeff Berry probably didn't know that he had smacked the wall.
Yeah, because he was so far behind
He
him
was
when it
so
happened.
far back, exactly. He just drove around the outside of him thinking he could pass him going in the corner.
Look at 13 Christopher get through here.
Christopher's been lucky several times. He's threading the needle right there.
Dale Shaw.
Mike Olson, 61. 88 Jeff Taylor gets by. There's 74 Dragon.
Oh.
So we're under caution at New Hampshire International Speedway. 34 of 100 laps are complete. Coming up Saturday night on TNN. World of Outlaws action as the greatest show on dirt goes to I-80 Speedway in Greenwood, Nebraska for the Channel Lock Fall Classic, Saturday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific here on TNN Motorsports.
He's standing straight down the straightaway, and in the corner, it'll go just about even with that mirror.
Here we go. Third gear. High gear.
Actually, you're going to see a good example of what G-forces are like. That tree's going to go straight out to the right.
There you go. Oh, and the tree got trouble.
2 cars get together in turn 1. One of them was Tracy Gordon. I think the other might have been Jamie Obey. Yes, it was. And there is Bob Brunel involved. Second one of the day for Brunel. Right at the spot where the first collision happened. Caution's out.
Mike, all that oil drying all down there in the corner is exactly where they had the modified wreck just a while ago that so many cars stacked up there, and they put the oil dry down in the high side of the racetrack.
17 is Bob Brunel. Bob Brunel in that accident down in turn 1, but we are set for the restart. 47, Kelly Moore leading 55, Brad Layton, 42, Tom Carey, and the Great Pumpkin, number 29 of Dave Dion. What they call it.
I raced against Dave Dion myself years and years back in Richmond, Virginia, and he was tough back then, and he's still tough.
Chet Christopher in all of that has climbed to 8th place. There are your leaders. And Leighton has a look on the bottom. He's coming.
I'm never going to believe a driver when they tell me anything anymore.
He said he was going to run conservative, didn't he, buddy?
Very conservative, was not going to race very hard, and he wanted the championship. There he goes, making a move on the inside.
Oh, trouble. Out of turn 4.
Big hit.
4 cars are in it. There's Eric Bodine, 21. 17, Bob Brunel again. 67, Jamie Obey got the worst of it.
Yes, he did.
Obey has come to a halt on the front straightaway, about halfway between that car and the start-finish line. Jamie's day is done.
Hard contact between Jamie Obey and Eric Bodine there coming off of turn 4.
We're getting this in one lap at a time, it seems. Bodine's able to pull away, but he'll go down a lap to the leaders.
Mike, he's got a lot of problems there. The car looked like it was crabbing a little, too. I think the back of the car has hurt a lot on Bodine.
Jamie Obey has the front end field back. From outside, turn 4. Looks like Obey came into a spin and had no place to go. There's Barney McRae, the 5, getting turned around.
Okay.
And here he comes.
You can see him go straight back across the racetrack. Bodine backs off and gets collected.
By Brunel, and there's Obey. Slamming in with no needle to thread.
Yeah, it looked like Eric saw the guy spinning, and Brunel just wasn't looking far enough ahead.
185 points behind Brad Leighton. Dave Dion, another 23 points back. There's Brad Leighton, point leader and race leader here in Loudon. We'll be right back.
And it's pretty hard to hit somebody in the back end if you're up front, too. So that's another thing you don't have to worry about. He's running the racetrack right now, not a lot of competition.
3 wide, and Chet Christopher went to the outside of Dave Dion, and he's going to have to battle Dion off the corner for 5th place. Got it. Then has to check up getting into the corner. Keep him running over Brian Wall.
Boy, Ted Christopher's having a bad day, and he started out in 35th spot. Look at him coming up here right now. He's all over these cars trying to get by him.
Around the outside of Brian Wall's Ford. Oh, he really drove it in there. He's going to lose the spot back to Wall.
He was lucky he didn't do more than just lose his position there. He almost got in the wall there as he came off turn 2 also.
Luke said he's getting caught up in the moment. He's got a good race car there. He just needs to settle in. He's got plenty of good contact between Ryan Dale Shaw there.
Yep.
In the 32 car.
Dale Quarterly in 32. Yeah, Teddy's got to make this moment last another 45 laps. Riding with Mike Olson, the 10th place car.
There goes that tree again, trying to get up to the roof.
He's trying to get out of that car. Come on. Would you want to ride there?
No, I wouldn't ride with anyone. I think some pretty good drivers, but I've never met a man I wanted to ride in a race car with.
2-car breakaway at the front now. It's Leighton and Moore. Lap cars have let them distance themselves from Tom Carey, Brian Wall, Dave Dion, Ted Christopher, and Dennis Demers.
I got to think that Kelly Moore has the better car as they go along. It seems that Brad Leighton's got a great car on the jump, but as they get along going there, Moore has a great car in the center part of the corner. Watch him as he rolls down in the corner here. Right about here, you'll see him start to close. Well, yeah, here he comes, right in the center. When he gets back to the throttle, he closes right in on the back bumper.
44 laps to go. Battle for 3rd place behind the leaders. Brian Wall looking to the inside of Tom Carey, and he's not going to find a lot of room down there.
Carey shut the door awfully quick as they went down in turn 1.
And back for the lead. Here comes Moore looking inside. Doesn't have enough at the end of the straightaway this time.
Well, that car is good driving that portion of the racetrack, though. When he gets back from the throttle, 47, Moore just has a great race car when he picks the throttle up.
His car will turn back down the racetrack as it gets to the center of the corner, and that's what he's going to need. As these tires start to heat up now and start to get a little slicker, they'll start sliding out. And Kelly Moore's car car can continue to turn down in the middle of the corner, he'll be able to drive up the inside.
Come on, buddy. There was a whole 2 inches between those cars.
Yeah, I feel a wake-up call coming. Hello, ding, ding. Here we go.
Layton got loose getting down into turn 3 that time and run up over the apron and got a little bit sideways and had to check up.
So Kelly Moore tries to hold that lead down into turn 1.
Ow, they make contact getting in the corner there. You can see Kelly Moore start kind of wiggle on the inside, but he has the preferred line and just pulls right on the way. About a 2-car length lead right now as they head down the back straightaway.
He gave Brad Layton a little bit of a wave there going down the back straightaway.
And again, buddy, on the bias flat tires, you can run these cars loose like this for 100 laps.
Look at this. You talk about bump drafting. Well, that's okay on the straightaway, but that's awful aggravating in the corner.
Tom Carey, 42. Ryan Wall, 77. And here comes Christopher in the 13.
Yeah, Christopher got his breath back, and now he's making a run towards the front again.
Let's check with Ralph.
Mike, on lap 58, Ted Christopher just uncorked the fastest lap of the race.
Lou Rettenmeyer's in the fence in the mobile speed pass, number 59. Road racer from Oxford, Connecticut, brings out the caution.
Quite a bit of damage there in the left rear. Don't see any tire rub.
The one thing you see, though, is the body itself has moved in past the left rear tire there. So as he picks up speed and gets back under the green, it could rub that tire as the body starts to bounce getting in the corner.
6 cautions today, buddy. We're going to take a break here from New Hampshire International as they clean up from this 6th caution flag. Kelly Moore leading Brad Layton and Brian Wall. Go back to New Hampshire. When you get your new Sega Dreamcast, you need to get a copy of TNN Motorsports Hardcore Heat. Here at Rose College, number 97 of Adam Friend for this restart. And we're back under green. Friend behind Kip Stockwell there. Turn number 2.
Stockwell said he wrecked his good car he won at Thunder Road with last year.
Watching the battle for 4th place. I think that's the 3rd on back. Tom Carey in 42. Brian Wall in 77. Ted Christopher in the 13. Then Dave Dion's orange and black 29.
Brian Wall got very loose coming off turn 4. Ted Christopher almost got upside him. Christopher loose now as they head down turn 2 there, down towards the back straightaway.
Brady's been trying to cut that car in the middle of the corner like it was a modified.
Yeah, he's trying to diamond the corner and get it turned and try to get back up the inside of the wall. I think it just takes a couple laps for these tires to come in. His car really seems to be working well on that long run, and we'll see if he can get a long green flag run here. I think he's going to work his way right back up to the front there and challenge the lead.
There's Christopher's climb through the field from 21st to 5th. Finished 3rd in the 100-lap modified race earlier behind Tony Hirschman and Mike Hewanitzko. Tracy Gordon. Behind him, Dennis Demers battling the 74 of Bobby Dragon.
Bobby Dragon, a great veteran of this division up here for many years. He's been a very active driver up here, and he can win on any type of racetrack. Right now, though, he's got his hands full.
He's got a mirror full of Tom Bowles, the Ellington, Connecticut driver, who has had a really great comeback from a hard crash here at New Hampshire. Took him a year of recuperation, but he's come back to run well here.
Yeah, he had to wear a halo and all. He had a neck damage and head damage also, so he had a real tough time of it. But you can see good racers go right back to business.
3rd place going to change hands down at turn 1. Brian Wall again battling. And he takes the measure of Tom Carey, and here comes Christopher.
On the inside now.
Christopher's got the inside lane going into turn 3. He's got the position to pull the pass off.
Well, you know, he started in 35th and moved right up to the front, but if you get higher on the ladder, it's hard to climb, believe you me.
Let's go to Christopher's pit. Here's Ralph.
Mike and Cruz trying to keep him aware of not overdriving the car, but the biggest problem problem that Ted is having is that the car is really shaking as he comes off the corners in 2 and 4.
All right, guys, I'm still going to update you on Dale Shaw. He has just taken 6th place from Dave Dion. Moved Dion back to 7th. Remember, he started 24th. He has got that track championship in his sights right now. An extra $5 grand means a lot to a guy like Shaw because he owns and maintains his own car. A little bit of distance between he and the 42 car in front of him in 5th there, but at the rate he's going, I believe he can still get to the top 5.
Wonder what he'll do with the championship owner's trophy. As you mentioned, 4 races at New Hampshire, and he's driven for 4 different owners.
And the important part, look at that race car, not a mark on it. He's been very, very careful not to get himself in the confrontation, maybe put himself out.
He saw this awful good going through the corner there. Just freed up and really accelerating well off the corner.
30 laps to go. Here's Denny Doyle out of Connecticut. And we'll have a look ahead from Denny's view. Don Preston ahead, Dennis Demers in front of him, and Jerry Marquis. Doyle running in the 17th position. This track has an 8-degree bank, but from the driver's seat, looks awful flat.
Feels like it banks the wrong way. I really like high bank racetracks, and that makes New Hampshire one of my least favorites, but it's a great place to come to and race on. I just really prefer a higher bank racetrack, and I think that this racetrack design would lend itself to a little bit more bank.
Well, I find that hard to believe. I've watched you so many times in the modified on flat tracks, and you always adapt very well to it. But this racetrack is down this straightaway now, going down into turn 3, you see the speed you carry, then on the brake down to the inside of the racetrack there. This is very demanding on the chassis itself as you roll into the corner.
Absolutely. You know, one of the key things here is brakes with New Hampshire. You don't want to open the front of the grill up too much and let too much cooling in the brake pit. You've got to make sure you've got plenty of cooling. Aerodynamic wise, the speeds here are high enough that it does make a difference as far as front down cooling if you take too much of the brake scoops and open them up.
Denny Doyle, the stay right pump, number 30. We're watching in 17th spot. His best finish here, 5th in the July race of this year. Battle heating up at 3rd place, where Ted Christopher is now got Brian Wall just ahead and Tom Carey coming back after him.
Yeah, it looks like Ted Christopher's about as high on that rim as he can climb right now. I'm watching him, and he's having a little bit of handling problems in the center part of the corner where he was so great a while ago.
Dale Shaw is closing right in on that group. It's about to be 4 cars fighting for 3rd place.
Eow!
Here comes Tom Carey.
He's blowing his chrome horn a little bit there.
Now, Carey, number 42, is in 2nd place for the New Hampshire International Speedway Track Championship. 16 points behind Dale Shaw. Brad Layton is 27 points out. And that's $5,000 at season's end, I believe.
Dale Shaw reminds me a lot of Terry Labonte, the way he drives the race car. He's right behind this group. They've been knocking and pushing on each other, and there's Dale Shaw right on the outside now. As Glenn said just a few moments ago, keep your eye on that 60 car. Dale Shaw knows how to win here, knows how to keep the car clean, and keep himself out of a lot of confrontations on the way through the field.
Now, Tom Carey's part of this point battle for Busch North. He would be 5th, the way the positions are right now behind Brad Layton and Tracy Gordon. No, but he did it, and he's got it.
Had a real strong run up off of turn 2, and carried that momentum all the way down the back straightaway.
All right, Dale Shaw moves up a notch on the leaderboard, moves up to 5th place. Let's check the route.
Well, Mike, that battle between the 13 and the 42 was getting pretty hot there, and finally Ted Christopher radioed in and said to tell the NASCAR officials, that 42 hits me again. You better warn him, he might be going around pretty soon.
Well, now Teddy, he's got to worry about the 60 car, because he's on the move. He's coming after him, and he's got an awfully strong race car.
Now, there's Dale Shaw's progress today from 7th to 5th in these just these last 10 laps.
Well, I remember when Shaw may have moved down to the Busch Nationals down south. He did a great job. I really thought that he was replaced as he was just coming into his own down there. He had several runs where he had an opportunity to maybe win a race down there, but just didn't have the time to develop his style in the Busch Grand National.
I agree, and he had a brief cup of coffee down in the Busch South Series and had a couple of top 5 finishes, I believe, in only 6 races.
The key to making that exchange from Busch North to Busch South is adapting to that radial tire. We see these cars out here sliding around and bumping and rubbing and getting away with some things that you can't do on that radial tire. That tire is a much more precise tire that needs to be driven that way, and sometimes it just takes a little bit longer for these guys to make that transition.
20 to go. Next time by, Kelly Moore is your leader. Brad Layton is second. Brian Wall third. Ted Christopher fourth, and Dale Shaw fifth. Tom Carey is sixth. Then this 29 of Dave Dion seventh. Dale Quarterly, who was a motorcycle road racer, crashed hard at Daytona and took up stock cars, having a good run here in 8th, number 32. Mike Olson is 9th, and Mike Bruno is 10th. Tracy Gordon's back to 11th, then Bobby Dragon. Tom Bowles is 13th. He started way back in 33rd. Then Jerry Markey and Dennis Demers. That's your top 15. 20 laps to go at New Hampshire International Speedway with Kelly Moore trying to win the race. Brad Layton the championship. We'll be right back. Watching the 4th place battle here in New Hampshire in the closing laps. Renthead.com, ultimate online automotive superstore for all your automotive repair, maintenance, and performance parts. Visit them on the web at renthead.com. Kelly Moore leads Brad Layton, Brian Wall, and this battle, Ted Christopher 13th, number 60, Dale Shaw, and 42, Tom Carey. That's the best scrap on the track with 15 to go.
Looks to me like all the cars are running just a little bit loose there coming off turn 4. Just a second ago, I was watching Shaw's hands coming off turn 4. You could actually see him cross his hands coming off the corner there. The car got very loose on him.
This group was right up behind Brian Wall just a few laps ago, and they've slowly lost ground to him. It looks like Teddy Christopher might be just fading a little bit here in the late stages of the race.
Kelly Moore has opened up the lead, and there goes Shaw into Christopher. Here comes Carey on the outside.
Little Bondo work come after this race. The 13 car, you could see the Bondo fly off the left rear corner when he got touched just then.
I think Dale Shaw's patience meter just ran out.
Yeah, I think that was more than casual contact, Fred.
Well, we're getting down to within 15 to go. It's becomes a purpose now.
You know, sometimes we're talking like he's getting very impatient, but a lot of times you get down in the corner just right, and the car in front of you sets up, and before you get out of throttle, you've already done some damage on the guy in front of you.
Yeah, but for Dale Shaw, passing Ted Christopher will be one thing. Getting away from him intact would be another.
This lap traffic could play a part in whether Shaw can catch Christopher out of position as he exits the corner. The lap car did hold him up a little bit, see if Shaw got any kind of run.
And if they get tied together, Tom Carey just behind those two right there as they battle, he could get the whole position. You see him moving in there on the outside right now.
Yeah, good run for Carey. Here he comes on the outside, and to the inside goes Shaw.
A great battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Well, Christopher just confidently comes right down, crosses in front of Shaw, down into the corner.
That's not a good thing to do on a white flag lap. Trouble here.
Around goes Billy Penfold. Oh, he's still going. And we're going to stay green.
Yeah, he just spun around. He's on that return road over there. He's out of the race and groove himself.
He'll get over on the road course.
Here we go, though. That traffic everywhere as they come up there. Dale Shaw, he couldn't go to the outside if he wanted to right now.
Shaw had a little bit of a run there and had to get back in line because of that lap traffic. He's exiting the corner much better than Teddy Christopher. It's just going to be a matter of time when he can just get him set up and carry that momentum down the straightaway and beat him to the next corner.
Now, Tom Carey has a little trouble getting lapping past Don Cervone. He caught him at a bad place entering the corner and drops back a couple of car lengths. Moore is out of power. Kelly Moore, the leader, has slowed in the front straightaway. He sounds like he's running on 5 cylinders, and he has just surrendered the lead to Brad Layton.
Yeah, you could hear it when he come by. It just started really backfiring as he came by here.
That's a heartbreaker. Here's Layton. Well, he may get to win the race and the championship. 10 laps to go, Glenn.
they don't really know down here in his pit what's wrong. They said it just quit. He said, Kelly called in and said it just quit. I don't know what's wrong.
Well, and it definitely dropped something in the motor because you could hear it from up here. It lost a lot of power as it come down the front straightaway. It sounded like a fracture machine.
Kelly Moore tied for the most wins at this track with 4. There's the battle with Shaw and Kelly turned around. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame.
Yellow is out, Brad. Yellow is out.
Everybody checked up.
Leader to the line.
Tom Carey got alongside Dale Shaw, and as they came down the back straightaway, Carey got turned around.
Well, that was a tough break. Tom Carey made a good move to get by Dale Shaw, and contact made coming up off of turn 2. Turned him hard into the outside wall.
This is a brand new car, the car that Carey won with here in August. They're preparing for Lime Rock, so it's a brand new car torn up.
Kelly Moore going to the pits there. You see he has no power whatsoever.
And I believe Tom Carey's just a little bit hot under the collar.
Maybe not.
Woo.
And we know who he's mad at because you see Dale Shaw when he goes by. I thought he was going to jump in the car with him just for a second there.
Yeah. This was not pretty. There's a little contact.
Well, yeah, a little early contact there. Carey got up into Dale Shaw coming off the corner, and it was pretty obvious that contact was made farther down the straightaway. And Shaw turned into the right rear quarter of Carey. Wow, hard contact. Hard hit into the outside wall.
And used up a brand new race car.
On both ends.
Yep.
Both ends of that car damaged heavily.
Wow.
That car nearly turned over.
It almost did, and you could see the roof flap even fly up on that car.
Battling for 4th. Dale Shaw and Tom Carey. You saw Carey was okay. Well, as we said at the top of the show, they start with their tempers and fenders intact. It doesn't always end that way.
That is for sure. And there's the man of the hour.
Brad Layton, 5th in this series in 1996. 5th in 97, and the series runner-up last year.
Mike, you know, when you're out there right now, this guy is riding around there, and he says, yes, I've got the championship. I've just got a few more laps. There's a lot of debris on this racetrack also. A wreck on the back straightaway. Hope there's not a piece of metal for me to run over.
Kelly Moore, who led and lost the motor, or lost power in the motor, is still on pit road, still working on his car. Kelly's the only driver to run all 30 Busch North races they've had here at New Hampshire International. 19 Busch North Series wins, 93 top 5 finishes, and the only driver over $1 million in career earnings in this series. But today, came up about 15 laps short.
Yeah, and that was a shame, too. He had a great race car, really good on long runs, and Kelly Moore just was doing everything perfectly. But that's one thing we can't count on, how long they'll run.
Glenn's down there.
Yeah, guys are under the hood looking at the electrical system, the plugs, the distributor cap, all the wiring and stuff, because the kind of sound that it made, they thought that the problem was electrical, but they're looking over everything right now. They just don't see what it is. They're still mystified.
Ralph?
Glenn, things are not fine in the 55 of Brad Layton. He is just rated into the crew and said this car is absolutely pathetic. It absolutely will not turn. He is going to try to just hang on to get it home. He has the lead right now, Mike, but he says if anybody gets close to him, he's going to have to let him by. It's going to be tough for him to race anybody to the checkered flag today.
Well, the bubble spot for him is 9th. 9th wins the championship. That's where the 3 of Mike Bruno is right now. So as long as he stays ahead of Bobby Dragon in 10th place, he would be the champion. Had a big wreck in the back straightaway, racing for 4th place, Dale Shaw and Tom Carey. We were just watching on the replay Carey's pass of
One
Shaw.
to go when you get back to the line.
Showed that he is not the smoothest passer since John Elway.
No, this pass was not very clean. Gets in the left rear of him right here.
Yeah.
And then just continues to muscle his way in there, and then coming off the corner, his body slams again. Contact made. And it looks like, as I said, Dale Shaw's patience meter ran out.
Yep, he said that's enough of that. Yeah. Turns Tom Carey in the fence.
You could see the roof flaps employ also. That car was hit hard enough into that wall that it could have turned over had it got enough vacuum inside the car to get it up off the ground. Watch as he hits the outside wall here. As he turns around right there, watch the flap fly up on the roof there. Keeping that car nailed to the racetrack. But that's not what he's thinking about right now.
1 lap to go. And we'll go back to green to finish this off here at New Hampshire.
It'll be a green-white checker finish.
We had a report that Brad Layton said his car was terrible, but he's been in second all day long, or first.
Back to Glenn on Brian Wall's car.
Okay, guys, the crew chief for the 77 car, Brian Wall, has told him, hey, the 55 Layton wants to win the championship more than he wants to win this race. Stick the nose under him, touch him, bang him, beat him, do whatever you have to do. He is not going to race you. And also the 55 car's got a little bit of problem with the right front tire, so he has told his crew chief in return, I'm not going to race anybody if they put any pressure on me. So this is Brian Wall's race to take away from him.
Well, let's find out. Pace car is in. Green flag.
Green flag, green.
Layton got a good start. Wall in second, Christopher third, Shaw, the black car, in fourth.
Remember, this is green, white checker.
We hope.
Oh, look at this.
Petty on the inside.
Teddy's coming up the inside of Wall. You're clear. 1 car length on Teddy.
Shaw on the outside.
Great move by Ted Christopher.
Ted Christopher had a chance to cool the tires down under this caution, making a hard run now to leader.
White flag.
Oh,
last lap.
Wall got in the back of Teddy Christopher coming off of turn 4.
Car length on Teddy.
Boy, got help late right on the bottom of the racetrack as we go through turn 1 and head toward turn 2.
Last chance. Back straightaway. Layton for the championship. Christopher and Wall and Shaw wanting the win.
On the bottom.
Turn 3. Quarter mile to go.
Dog gets
Finn in 3. Dion. They're going to come to the flag. Checkers are out. Crash in turn 3. 1 car up on its side. Layton will win it.
Attaboy, Brad. That's a nice job. Attaboy. Well done, Brad. Guys, you did a super job all weekend. Bunch of people, thanks for being honest. That's a championship. Nice job.
Dave Dion's car is destroyed at the inside of turn 3.
All right, let's really enjoy it.
Mike John Preston's car was also involved. The 12 car, the front of the car was totally demolished.
And there's Adam Friend, the Nichols College car. Adam will get an incomplete for this course today. Tough break for him to be involved there. But boy, Dion's car is destroyed. So Brad Layton wins the Busch North 100.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Welcome back to New Hampshire International Speedway. Dave Dion climbed out of his car. It's destroyed up in turn 3. Brad Layton has won the race and the championship. 11th Series win, his 3rd at New Hampshire, 9th driver to win the championship, and his 6th 1999 win. We congratulate Tony Hirschman and Brad Layton, winners at New Hampshire International Speedway. For Buddy Baker and Brett Bodine, I'm Mike Joy. So long, everybody.